Chapter 1. What is Stress? The Hunter. Stress is as old as man himself. To begin, let's go back a few thousand years to see what role stress played in survival. Cow had been tracking the impala for 2 days. The African sun was baking down on the desert sand, and shade was a scarce commodity. The cicadas were shrill in the midday sun, piercing the stillness of the Kalahari dunes. He knew that the impala was exhausted, and the kill would come soon. His bow and arrow were ready to shoot once he spotted the animal. For him, the last part of the hunt was his favorite. As he approached the impala, he had to make sure it could not smell him. He checked the direction of the slight breeze with his finger, and knew that being downwind was the best approach. He relished the slow, deliberate approach when he stealthily crept closer, inch by inch. He knew that once he shot the animal, it would run away in distress, only to slow and drop dead after a few hundred yards, the poisoned tip of the arrow having done its work. All his attention was focused on his prey. The impala was breathing heavily, unable to run, having used up all its resources in the long run to get away from the hunter. Cow knew that the moment had come, and he took aim, pulling the bow back just far enough to propel the arrow into the animal's flank. Suddenly, Cow's sixth sense bristled, and he involuntarily lifted his eyes high up to a branch of the tree next to him. He froze as he saw the tail of the leopard twitch. Their eyes locked, and he could feel the tension in the big cat's body as it sized him up, getting ready to pounce. Long, bared fangs were exposed as the cat gave a hiss. The hunter had become the hunted. Cow stood frozen. Inside, the sight of the leopard had released a flood of stress hormones. He was breathing fast. His once hungry stomach stopped growling and became taut with tension. Cow felt his vision sharpen, and he could hear the cat's claws digging into the bark of the tree as it was getting ready to pounce on him. His brain stopped thinking about the impala being roasted on the fire tonight, or his tribe waiting for him to return from the hunt. He was in pure reactive mode, knowing that as soon as the leopard leaped from the branch, he had to act immediately to get out of harm's way and redirect his arrow to avert certain death. When the lithe muscles tensed and the cat uttered a blood-curdling sound, it pushed its body with speed and grace towards the frozen human on the ground below him. Cow relied on pure instinct. The rush of adrenaline gave him an almost superhuman strength as he jumped out of harm's way without a second to spare. His arrow left the bow, and the cat was dead before it even hit the ground. Cow felt sick to his stomach and exhausted, his heart beating so fast it felt like it might jump out of his chest. He looked around and saw the impala had disappeared. He wiped the sweat from his brow and gave a gasp of relief. He kicked the dead leopard before him with his bare, calloused foot. He almost couldn't believe it. He had survived. Meet the stress monster. Humans are wired for survival. Thousands of years ago, life was harsh, and death came often and easily, sometimes brutally, making life expectancy short. Survival came only to those who could successfully react to the sensitive stress triggers that activated the fight-or-flight response. Cow survived this brush with death, being hailed a hero around the fire that night as he played out his adventure to the members of his Khoisan tribe and to the delight of his children. He wore the leopard skin with pride, like a trophy of his triumph over death.